Welcome. I am Crimey Queen, and if you are joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we actualize self-love with scriptural references of the King James Version of the Bible. King James Version of the Bible. King James Bible. Okay, all right. There are so many Bibles now. I suppose, yes, it pays to be very specific in this sense. Okay, on light notes, we are on light notes, but with the essence of getting more familiar with Mother Eve. Mother Eve is in the story of the Bible of Adam and Eve. We have discovered that Mother Eve is the waters that were spoken of in the second verse of the first chapter of Genesis. There where it said, and there was darkness upon the face of the deep. That was Mother Eve being spoken of. And the waters, the darkness was upon the face of the waters, The waters there is Mother Eve. The numerical value for waters is 5. Of course, when we do the numerical value for Eve is also 5. We do the numerical value for Christ is 5. And just to give you a few words, I do this periodically, that equals 5. Here we have the word made, or there was a God made. Although that God made, it would be interesting to see if that God made was the same as Mother Eve as well. But that is from the 14 gods that we have discovered in Genesis. Okay, and so we have made because that is I always feel that the word made is really Adam, although it would be a, because moving the M and putting it to, I am really believing that, because it would mean that Adam and Eve would be the man and the woman that was okay. I'm going, but there's the word made, and often we see like moving this and putting it here. Well, it wouldn't, yeah, would be Adam. But of course, in creation, the E has an ability to it has an ability to transform itself, because it's the E here that becomes the W. It becomes the W. So it would make sense to say that Adam, the E here, would also be a W, meaning it would also equal A in that sense, because W is also free, it's also E, and it's also W, as we have seen. So if the God of made, which we will be investigating, the God made, of course, it's having the M. The made would be after the function, or the it's as if the Adam would be the, like atom. We have that as well, when it's not like really in motion already. So it's as if it's when this Adam would have been transformed, it would have been made. Of course, we have AD in the middle, which of course is like, I keep wanting to know this word that the AD really means. But anyway, it's some homework I have to really master. Okay. It's supposed to be a Latin word, I think. Okay. So basically, we see the E has that ability to transform itself into this 8-petal flower. So which would signify the God, because God is 8. And here we could see that that would mean 8. Okay, so that's just to give a taster. It's really getting familiar with Mother Eve, I am just seeing another. Okay, so of the gods so far, maid is the only one that goes direct, with that direct correlation of Eve, Mother Eve, as in, I think I better just leave Mother Eve right here, because, and this is 5, 4, 5, so we see that equals 14. Okay. So we have the gods, which is God, the God who blessed, formed, created, made, saw, and all we had been talking about was the God who created. Of course, the God who created is a God to really talk about, because that's the God who created man in his own image and likeness. But there was a creation, a man creation before. When it is said, we see when it is said that the God said, which is Mother Eve, right here, when Mother Eve said, "Let there be light," meaning the light that was spoken of were beings, were us, or were the first set of beings that would have come. Hence it is said that we are what we see, because what we see is a projection of ourselves. The sun is out there, but it's a projection of ourselves. Okay, and in that case we could say we are sons. Okay, and there's I've got to cover sons and daughters, of course. And we have got the God or who saw, the God who said, of course, the God, the said God equals 15. So Mother Eve is like both 14 and 15. She's actually 14 in, we could say, the raw state of her beingness. That's what I would it be fair to say, the raw state of her beingness. She encompasses all the 14 gods, which come into sets of 7s. She's the said God here. So she comes into this column. Basically, she comes into this column. She is number 5, as we have seen in 14, but she's also 6, meaning she is with every aspect of our makeup. She's in the middle. She is like the umbrella of man right here. So we have the 3 6s right here, which would be the 666 often spoken of in Revelation. So if you're new to this channel, this is a depiction of Mother Eve, who of course typically, like a snake, changes its skin, changes its look, and so on. It's changeable, and in that sense, that is a teaching for us to recognize and remember that we are in constant mode of changes. We are forever changing, and perhaps in those changes is where we are encountering the different gods as well. The God who divided, the God who moved, the God who called, the God who formed, and so on. And so we see that these constant changes is in essence all part of Mother Eve. Now I just want to conclude on this because these are bite sizes I am concentrating on, but I thought I would give you this essence of where we're really at in the seriousness of what we are doing. Everything is serious, but we have been looking at the number 13. So the number 13, again, we have seen that CNN is 13, but there's where I was given that message, you are dots. It's like you are dots. That's how it came to me. But U is also, Y-O-U is 7. It's basically saying 7, Y-O-U. Let's just do it this way because, yeah. But U, we could see the letter or the word U is basically that there is a W. It's like to remind you that you are W. The Y which is like this, whether it's like this, it's like this tail bit is like a a distortion in that sense to help you focus on one dimension or one side of your W, because we are programmed, hence there's the bridge between the nodes, to see one U at a time. But we need to develop the consciousness to realize that there are two U's, because it's the two U's, the two U. This is why we often say to you, meaning there is, I am giving you a part of myself. So there is one you and there is the two you to form the whole. This is the two you. This is the two you right here, the equator. Okay. One part of you is cold and one part of you is warm, because one part of you is getting attention and one part of you is not in a tension. Okay, so back to you are dots. So this is 7. I won't go to doing this anymore. This is 15, meaning it's 1, 5. I probably should do, in case you're new to numerology as well, let's do this. So Y is 7, this is 6, this is 3. When we add this together, this gives us 9 plus 7 gives us 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. And we do the same here. We add 1 plus 9, 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 1 plus 5 gives us 6. And dots is 4, 6, 2, 1. Now, there's something I like about this, because there are two O's in this three-letter word, and this one's 4. But we could even have said it, you are dot, but we were dots. We are dots. Okay. We are several dots. So this is 6, this is 10 plus 3 is 13. So dots, this is what we were told, we are dots. We are number 13 in that sense. We are the incubator. We are in the incubator, which is the incubator, really, because the word incubator equals 13. And so because we are of everything, this is really when we are told we are atoms, we are like the stone, we are all of anything that we see. This is very explanatory in that sense, that we are 13 and we are of 13. So we are put in an incubator when we are born. We are put into that where we germinate, where we become acquainted with that environment, that aspect of our makeup. Of course, a lot of things happen then. So if we add this together, of course, 1 plus 3 is 4. And then we add this together. This is 10 plus 7. This is 17. Wow. I hadn't done this before. I don't think so. I was just going with, I might have, but you are dots. I think I just did dots, but I didn't do the whole thing. I don't recall doing this whole thing. So basically, we are gods, because God is G-O-D. This is another O coming here. We have 3 O's here. So there we have 7. Let's do G-O-D where you can see that, but I love to see the whole thing here. So basically this is 7, this is 6, and this is 4. All right. And we were counting God, G-O-D. This was intended to do, of course, it's going as planned, dots. Okay, so God is 7, 6, 4. And then we add these together. We have 8. We did that. Yeah, we did 17. Of course, yeah, 1 plus 7 is 8. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. That's why we are told we are dots. So the dots are set. They become set because there was a God who set the dots Of course, that's why we are in this shape. So when we add this together, 1, 5, 2 equals, this is 7, this is 8. This is the set God who is found in Genesis of chapter 1, verse 17. Verse 17, which is 8. Okay, 1 plus 7. I'll leave you with that. This is just going too wonderful to put, we just want to keep these bite sizes going. But this is where we see the power of number 13. 13, I want to elaborate a little bit more on dots. This is where we see that dots is 13. It's number 4. It also comes under the numerical value of 2. Why does it come under the numerical value of 2? It represents that which we have been shaped by, the sacrifice of Jesus Christ in Christian setting, in the biblical setting, because that's what we are exploring. It represents Christ and the 12 disciples. Of course, with Christ would be 13. It represents the bonding of the ritual that was set when Christ said, when you take of this bread was 21, meaning 21 is 2 plus 1 is 3. And he says, when you drink of this wine, which is 6, in essence, we do 6. 6 is actually also 7. So we see how 7 is also 1. I better give you this. I better give you this. This is just too delicious not to give it to you. So it was bread, B-R-E-A-D, and it was, so bread is 29514. When we add this together, this is 10, 19, 20, 21. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So bread, we have 3. This is bread. And wine is 5955. When we add this together, 19, 20, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. Right. 6. This is the long division, or long whatever it is, 6. When we do the numerical value for the word 6 now, we do 1, 9, 6. We add this together, 15, 16, this is 7. 7. When we do the numerical value for 1, just to show you how 1 becomes 7, is that we would do this 5, 5, 6. This would be 10, 16, 1 plus 6 is 7. So we can see how the bread and the wine, so the bread and the wine becomes 13, representing that. Okay. I thought I would show you this, but when the agreement is formed, there's a bond. They become equal. This is where we have the equal signs, like 2 dashes. So they form a bond right there. And that B under the sacrifice template is where that beehive, that bee, this is 13. This is where the bonding happens. This is where things are taking place. This is where agreements, hands are shaken on this section here. So this is a very crucial part of how we need to be mindful about what agreements we are setting. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun and interesting. Please give us a like and subscribe and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self-full love. Be ignited, be filled, because we are planting new seeds, and spill over with love. Namaste.